The background to Skull and Bones is a story of opium and empire and a bitter struggle for political control over the new US Republic. Authors Griffin Tarpley and Anton Chaikin. Hit the intro!
I got flavor.
As mentioned in part 1 of this series, Skull and Bones was founded in 1832 by General William Huntington Russell and Alphonso Taft. So let's get some background on these two fuckers. We're gonna skip learning about their childhood and upbringing and let's get right into their adult lives. Alphonso Taft was Secretary of War and Attorney General during and under President Ulysses Grant. He was also a U.S. Minister to Austria, Hungary, and Russia under President Chester A. Arthur. Alphonso Taft is father to William Howard Taft. Some of William's credentials are as follows: 6th Solicitor General of the United States, Judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the 6th Circuit, 42nd United States Secretary of War, 10th Chief Justice of the United States, and of course, 27th President of the United States.
What the fuck?
Before all of this, in 1878, William Howard Taft was tapped to be in Skull and Bones. And now on to the other co-founder, William Huntington Russell, who from 1846 to 1847 served as a Whig in the Connecticut State Legislature representing New Haven. Upon the repeal of the Missouri Compromise in 1854, he became active as one of the leaders of the movement, which resulted in the organization of the Republican Party. Russell's political resume is nowhere near as impressive as the Tafts we just briefly examined.
Stop it! Cut it out!
But let's see what happens when we take a look at the Russell family and their business endeavors. William Huntington Russell is a descendant of Noadiah Russell, who along with James Pierpont founded Yale. James Pierpont's daughter married William Huntington Russell. Pause. Okay, I gotta make a correction. This is future self talking to me from the past. What I just said was that James Pierpont's daughter married William Huntington Russell. She did not marry the guy that started Skull and Bones. Mary Pierpont Russell married William H. Russell, but not William Huntington Russell, because we're still about 100 years before we get to William Huntington Russell and the start of Skull and Bones. James Pierpont's granddaughter went on to marry the father of the J.P. Morgan. The Russell family was at the center of Russell and Company, a firm controlled by some of Boston's finest blue blood families that were enriched by the slave trade and then by opium smuggling in the early 19th century. A notable Russell and Company partner early on pertaining to its opium operations in China was a man by the name of Warren Delano Jr., who was grandfather to, wait for it, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. William Russell's cousin Samuel Russell was a key player in the British-influenced opium wars in China. The opium wars of the 19th century is another rabbit hole in itself. That involves Britain putting pressure on India by producing cotton cloth finished goods and making them more affordable for the population of India than the goods produced in India. As a result, India dropped the price of their opium so they could sell more of it to bolster their economy, mainly to the blue blood families of Britain and the USA. Side note, here's a fucked up fact. During these opium wars, Edward Henry Harriman, a railroad executive and financier, imported over 100,000 Chinese slave laborers known as coolies to replace the black slaves. Why, you ask? Because Chinese slave laborers were far better opium addicts. So this move by Harriman provided cheap labor for his railroads, along with a significant increase in customers for opium in the United States. Edward was father to William Averill Harriman, Skull and Bones 1913, and Edward Roland Harriman, Skull and Bones 1917. Remember this family, they are important, especially Averill, who we will examine in more detail later. Now that you've gotten a better glimpse into the crooked and powerful characters that founded Skull and Bones, we've skipped over talking about the order's rituals and their inner workings, so let's do that next. I do seem to have come across definite, if skeletal, links between the origins of Bones rituals and those of the notorious Bavarian Illuminists. Ron Rosenbaum, journalist, Yale graduate, Skull and Bones researcher. Rosenbaum has written about how another fraternity gave him a report pertaining to Bones initiation rituals, one of which goes like this. The Bones initiate is placed into a casket in a room which is said to be a central part of their building named The Tomb. This new man is chanted over and is said to be reborn when exiting the coffin and given robes covered with symbols.
Guess this one didn't make it through the reborn part.
He added that while in the coffin, a conversation takes place that is devoted exclusively to sexual histories. They don't leave out anything these days. The sexual stuff is totally explicit and there's less need for fabricating exploits to fill up the allotted time. Most sessions start off with talk of prep school masturbation and don't stop until the intimate details of Saturday's night's delights have come to light. Other similarities between Skull and Bones and the Bavarian Illuminati include the way codenames were based on historical and mythical figures. George H.W. Bush was known as Magog, Avril Harriman was Thor, Charles Seymour was Machiavelli, John Kerry was Gorlock. Just like the personal diary kept by Bavarian Illuminati members, during the 1 to 3 year probation period, the novice was asked to keep a log of the following things inside the notebook he was given: the weaknesses, prejudices, actions, financial status, and interests of everyone he met, including his own family, friends, and even strangers. He was told to write down his thoughts about any local or national news event, activity, or story. He was also asked to record his thoughts about his recruiter, aka Brother Insinuator. The Brother Insinuator was a huge factor in the initiate moving up throughout the ranks. Skull and Bonesmen kept one themselves called Life Histories, in which they were supposed to document their day-to-day experiences, deepest thoughts, and feelings. These life history diaries were open access for Bones superiors. Another process of initiation was having initiate bonesmen stand in front of the membership and confess his innermost secrets, including his sexual history. This is done in front of a painting of a woman entitled Connubile Bliss. This confession of secrets is recorded by the individual conducting the ceremony, given the name Uncle Toby. And now a 2-minute clip from that time ABC News, that's right, ABC News, had a segment on Skull and Bones and aired rare footage of a bones ceremony that was conducted in the sealed off courtyard around back of their headquarters, aka The Tomb. Enjoy.
He's come pretty close. She was part of a team that successfully recorded part of the initiation ceremony that takes place in the tomb's courtyard.
Okay, you have the doorway here.
Yeah.
Okay, then to the right you have a hedge, and then
Yeah.
you have an evergreen tree. If you follow that line straight back, courtyard's in there.
Ah, okay.
So
that's where they have the ceremonies in
the outdoor part of it was indoor. So we only got to see the outdoor part.
Right.
We only got to and to listen to the outdoor part. God only knows what went on indoors.
And what did you hear? What was it you know? You managed to get this unique
It was
access to it.
disgusting. It was gross. I mean, they were pretending to murder people. And
What was the tone of it though? Was it jokey or was it
vicious.
quite...
No, it wasn't jokey at all. It was sick. That's about the only way I can describe it. It was sick.
What you're hearing is the first recording ever made of the Skull and Bones initiation ceremony. It has never been broadcast before. 15 new members of the club are being introduced into the macabre rituals of Skull and Bones by the senior students who are about to graduate. The club has what some might see as a strange fascination with death, skulls and bones. There's the chants too, difficult to hear first of all, but including the devil equals death, and death equals death.
This is an elaborate, occult, ritualistic entry into this group that they are.
That's fucking weird, huh? Holy shit. What the hell was that all about?
It is said that from time to time, Skull and Bones will take on challenges or special duties. Prescott Bush apparently took on one of these jobs. What was this task? Grave robbing, of course. In 1918, Apache warrior Geronimo's burial plot in Oklahoma was the chosen mark. The warrior's skull and 2 bones were apparently dug up by Prescott Bush and a few bonesmen, and were displayed back at the tomb. On February 17, 2009, Skull and Bones was sued in federal court, demanding that the order give back his bones so he may rest in peace. I believe strongly from my heart that his spirit was never released. Geronimo's grandson, Harlan Geronimo. By establishing reading societies and subscription libraries and taking these under our direction and supplying them through our labors, we may turn the public mind which way we will. Adam Weishaupt, Bavarian Illuminati founder. This quote from the founder of the Bavarian Illuminati was not ignored by Skull and Bones. The order had the forethought of controlling perception in the future by creating both the American Historical Association and the American Economic Association. Aight. Let's call it a day here. Make sure you come back for the third and final installment of this series, where the focus will strictly be the evil scandals Skull and Bones members were involved in. Funding Nazis. We will examine how Skull and Bones members were placed in various sectors of society to do the bidding of the order, such as education, money, law, politics, economy.
Alright, I get it!
And of course, our journey after Skull and Bones must continue to a different organization. Please like, subscribe, follow on whatever video platform you're on, and follow me on X. See you soon, but for now, like a fat kid in dodgeball, I'm out. Hit the outro.
Motherfucker, I'm ill.